Trying to take advantage of the Phillies' work over the Dodgers. Dan Herron on the bump for the Snakes. Strikes out Adrian Gonzalez, 94-mile-an-hour cheese, and then gets Josh Bard looking here. Dealing early. Jake Peavy. Oh, man, Cy Young quality on the other side. Mark Reynolds. He's just looking. Stephen Drew. Hello, Uncle Charlie. Glad you could make it to the ballpark. 6 innings pitched, 2 earned, 7 Ks for Peavy. We go into the 4th. Diamondbacks down 1-zip. 2 on, 2 outs. 2 out hits get you to heaven. Thank you very much, Chris Snyder. You'll get wings and a halo. 2-run single. Augie Ojeda and Reynolds score. Arizona up 2-1. Home half of the 4th. Same numbers. 2 on, 2 outs. I sense some symmetry here. Brian Giles singles to left field. Bard will score. We're knotted at 2. Bottom 7. Herron still pitching well. Man, that was just filthy. There it was. Edgar Gonzalez goes down again. 2 batters later, 1 on, 2 outs. Jody Garrett, ground ball to first. Herron covers the bag. Out, end of inning. 7 innings pitched, 2 earns. Season high 11 Ks for Herron. We're tied at 2. We go to the bottom of the 9th. 2 outs for Garrett. I don't know if you knew this. Garrett now, 4 of his 7 home runs in August have been in the 9th inning. That's right. Go Homer. 2-run shot off John Rauch. Padres win it 4-2, and they snap a 7-game
to play. The continuation of these suspended games, since that was the O's last visit to Chicago, Ozzie Sox, they were the home team in Baltimore. You know, the last time that a suspended game was played by the White Sox over 24 years ago, and Harold Baines, a walk-off home run in the 25th inning against the Brewers. Yep. You were at that game, probably.
But I recall it.
Baines, of course, the first base coach for the White Sox. Picking up bottom of the 12th, Carlos Quentin deep to left, Luke Scott. He and the ballpark will hold it 1 down. Bottom 13, Jim Thome fly to center. Lou Montanez makes the diving grab. Top of the 14th, bases loaded. Montanez. We checked. He's not Willie's kid, by the way. Remember Willie Montanez?
Yeah, I do.
RBI single.
I was at that game, too.
Nick Markakis scores. Orioles take the lead 4-3. He really did get around.
Yeah.
Interesting scenario. Ken Griffey Jr. The pitch bounces in front of Ramon Hernandez. Chris Getz advanced to third. Then Griffey Jr. intentionally walked. Bases loaded for the White Sox. And the next batter, Jermaine Dye, pops it up to Juan Castro. And the Orioles hang on to win 4-3. All right, some more of the craziness from this game that is actually now considered to have officially ended on April 28th. Because of that, the O's finished that day with a half-game lead in the AL East over the Red Sox. Scheduled Orioles-White Sox game.
Yes.
That's still what Ken Griffey Jr. looks like. 2 on, White Sox up 1-0, and Jr. That's an RBI double in right center. Carlos Quentin scores, and the White Sox had a 2-0 lead. Orioles down 2-1, bottom 4, 2 on Kevin Millar. He's going to single and score Aubrey Huff, and we were tied at 2. Top of the 5th we go. Orioles up 3-2. Here's Juan Uribe. Uribe shoots one deep to center. Jay Payton. Nice grab at the wall at the track. The inning continued on. Runner on third. White Sox down 3-2. Carlos Quentin asks for time. Chris Waters was already in his windup. It stops his motion. That causes a balk. Alexi Ramirez scores from third. White Sox tie it up on that 3-all. Here's Jim Thome. A more conventional way to score. 535th career home run, 28th of the season. White Sox win 4-3.
Twins and Mariners then. Minnesota, Chicago volleying first place in the AL Central, back and forth. Francisco Liriano, first 3 starts, 0-3, ERA above 11. Last 4, 4-0, ERA 1 and change. And Kenji Jojima gets the 1 and change right there. We have no score through 2. Into the 3rd, Ichiro lines out to center field. It's not really a liner. That's just like a little gork, a little duck snort. But Carlos Gomez is there to field it. Twins still lead 1-zip. Top 4, 2 outs, runner on second break. Brian Busher grounds a single past Jose Lopez. Delman Young rounding third, headed for home. Brown-eyed handsome man. Ichiro throws him out. So the score holds 1 Twins, M's nothing. But we're 1-1 in the 8th. Delman Young singles to right field. All right, he couldn't score. Maybe he can drive one in. Joe Mauer, yeah, easily. 2-1 Twinkies. Bottom 9, Joe Nathan in to close the game. Now, seriously, that guy's lights out, right? He's only blown 3 saves all season, and here's number 4 with runners on the corner, nobody out. Jeff Clement, 6-4-3 double play. Adrian Beltre scores to tie it at 2. All right, as long as you're going to prolong this game, why don't you be the guy to end it, huh? In the 11th, we're tied at 2. Adrian Beltre, 2-run home. Thanks. Remember where you parked your car, because you can all drive home right now. Mariners win at 4-2 in 11 innings. They haven't won a lot lately, and you can see why they're awfully pleased.
All right, the swinging A's have not won a series since the second week of July. That's 12 series, starting a new series against Mike Scioscia. And the Angels, Dallas Braden's got a good pickoff move. See what I mean there? Get Sean Figgins. Eric Ibar's on first. Torrey Hunter, base hit to left. Squeezes through. Ibar's trying to advance to third. Jack Cust throws out Ibar at third. So as the Angels base running, here's Figgins. He's back on first. He's not getting picked off.
Boy.
He's only getting thrown out trying to steal. Caught stealing. Kurt Suzuki nails him. Bottom 9, 2 out. Torrey Hunter with a runner on. And he's going to ground out to short to end it. The A's win 2-1. Angels have lost 8 of their last 12. What's going on?
You remember this? We alternate back and forth. I start by saying number 10, Frick.
Right.
Indians, Tigers. Grady Sizemore led off the game with his 30th home run, becoming the second Indians player to have at least 30 homers, 30 stolen bases in a season. The other guy, Oklahoma City Millwood product Joe Carter.
So what do I do now?
Now you read number 9.
Oh, A's and Angels. Howie Kendrick trying to bunt. And the pitcher, Dallas Braden, the diving stop and gets Kendrick at first. Check it again. What a well-pitched and played game by Braden. A's win 2-1.
Hopefully by number 7 it'll all come back to you. Number 8, Andy Murray. First round of the U.S. Open. Match point. Murray in the far court. Runs down a lob. Beautiful backhand passing shot. Whee! You know, over there in Great Britain, they call him R. Andy.
Really?
6'3", 6'4", 6'0".
At number 7, Rangers and Royals. Milton Bradley into the hole, and that's where Mike Aviles is hanging out. Able to throw from his knees. Stepping into the throw is overrated. Rangers win 9-4.
Number 6, Portsmouth, Manchester United. Paul Scholes, you know his nickname is Muscle. Free kick for Man U. Portsmouth goalie David James, the diving save. Darren Fletcher would score for Man U as they defeat Portsmouth 1-0.
White Sox and Orioles, this is the second game, the regularly scheduled game. Kevin Millar, the liner, and Joe Creedy says, I don't think so. Creedy, in his first game back off the DL, making an impact. White Sox won that game.
Number 4, Seahawks, Chargers. See, they're dressed up like real NFL players, but the game doesn't count. Charlie Fry, back to pass. Nate Burleson, he's got the ball. He's running. Chargers win 18-17. They had a cool 2-point conversion, but this one, good for 6 points for the Seattle team.
You know, seriously, while I was on home run.
Number 2, Rafael Nadal, Bjorn Pau. He's German. Nadal in the far court. Tremendous backhand down. Look at that. This was his first match as being number 1. He won at 7-6, 6-3, 7-6. He's into the second round. Now you do number 1.
All right. And I'm live, by the way. You're on tape. Astros and Mets. Men at the corners for Ty Wigginton. Down the first base line, and Carlos Delgado. Diving stop. Glove in the right spot at the right time. Had 2 home runs, 6 ribs. Mets a 9-1 winning. Wild ride. That's what I like to call Philadelphia. Damian Easley with a runner on third. Jose Reyes scores. Mets a 1-0 lead. They always score first. In fact, they do so in 66.2% of the games, the most in big league baseball. To the 5th, Mets had a 7-1 lead with Pedro Martinez. Wasn't enough. Jimmy Rollins, 2-run get out of town, his 9th of the year. Then Ryan Howard, his National League leading 35th homer of the year. 3rd straight season with 35, and it's a 7-5 game. And here we go. Oh, the Mets bullpen. They've lost 8 games this year after entering the 8th with a lead. Still 7-5. Here's Rollins, this time against Pedro Feliciano. And really, does the pitcher even matter? Rollins goes the other way. Carlos Ruiz scores. Rollins' 5th hit of the night. It was 7-6. Next batter's Chase Utley, and Feliciano gets Utley. The Mets will turn to Joe Smith to face the righty Pat Burrell with 2 on. And Burrell going to put a charge into it. Will the ballpark hold it? This is a ballpark that doesn't hold much, but Fernando Tatis there to make the grab on the warning track. That's bullpen out of the 8th inning jam. Luis Ayala, he had converted his other save chance with the Mets, trying to get the last out. I don't think so. Jason Worth Broken bat single into center. Phils are alive. Here's the pinch hitter, Eric Bruntlett. Line drive into right. That's going to get down. Ryan Church doing what he's supposed to do. Hits the cutoff. Here's Easley's throw to the plate. Offline and skips by Brian Schneider. Worth scores the tying run. Mets blow another one. 10th time they've blown a 9th inning lead. Carlos Ruiz, grounder up the middle. And only because of that play by Jose Reyes are the Phils kept off the board. We go to extra innings. To the 11th, David Wright with 2 down. Base hit down the right field line. Wadsworth, though, plays the carom perfectly, and Wright wasn't expecting it to be that close. Nails him at second. The Mets failed to score after the 4th inning. Bottom 11, Aaron Heilman facing Rollins with the bases loaded. And Heilman, who actually pitched very well, gets Rollins to pop out to right at third. To the 13th we go. Shane Victorino. You know, he goes by the nickname the Flying Hawaiian.
I was at that game.
Off Scott Schoenweiss. Laces a shot down the right field line, and Victorino is flying indeed. Look at him turn on the Jets. He'll hit third with a triple. Now the Mets intentionally walk the bases. Chris Coast at the plate, and for Coast, his first walk-off hit. He went 4 for 4. Everybody was in. Everybody's coming in. Hit it over Carlos Beltran's head. The Mets bullpen blows its 22nd save. The Phillies win, take a half-game lead in the National League East standings. All right, did the Mets blow it or did the Phillies steal it? Actually, Philadelphia stole 6 bases in the game for the first time in 23 years. Jamie Moyer lasted just 3 innings, his shortest NL stint since '91. The Mets had 10 hits in their first 22 at-bats in the game. Scored 7 runs in the first 4 innings, but after that, they went just 4 for 28.
Guy was supposed to be in Dubai or something. Look at Johnny Damon, 350 yards. He's got about a 5-iron. That's out. 10th of the season. He later hit a solo shot in the 5th as well, so it's 1-0 Yanks. You know what I call this, but that's in the boogie down. Top third, we're tied at 2. Runner on second, Jason Bay. That one sees its way through the infield. Andy Pettit gives it up. Kevin Youkilis will score 3-2 Sox. Now in the 5th, 4-2 lead for the Bostonians. Jeff Bailey grounder to the 3rd. Nice fielding job by Alex Rodriguez. Throw not in time. Jed Lowry will score. Coco Chris scores all the way from second because Jason Giambi sort of asleep on the play. Yep, home plate's behind you. Bummer for him. 6-2 Red Sox. A-Rod, modest stats for an MVP when it comes to runners in scoring position this season. 250, 5 homers, 47 RBIs, and with 2 runners on, he pops out crisp in the 5th, and he hears about it.
And the Bluebirds here at Yankee Stadium not liking that at bat.
Treating him like Jimmy Rollins in Philly, although Jimbo's got a role in that. Bottom 7, Yanks trailing 7-3. A-Rod again, bases chucked, 1 out. So this time a swing of the bat pulls him close, makes a game of it. Or how about a 6-3 double play to end the inning? I think I know what's coming now, huh?
Ooh.
Alex Rodriguez having a dreadful season in big spots and clutch situations.
I mean, when the home team guy gets on you a little bit, you know it's bad. Bottom 9, still 7-3. Runner on, Jonathan Papelbon handles A-Rod. Yanks lose 7-3. Rodriguez goes 0 for 5, but he does go 1 for 1, taking responsibility.
All right, on the field we go. Twins a game back in the White Sox in the Central. Minnie looking to snap a 3-game losing streak in Seattle. Adrian Beltre, liner to right center. Denard Span. This guy's in the highlights every single night. Span, a top play nominee indeed. Top play should be his middle name. Still scoreless. Runners in second and third. The bottom of the second. Jeff Clement, the base hit off Scott Baker, scores a pair. Mariners a 2-0 lead. Top of the 6th, Twins down 2-1. Randy Ruiz, get out of town, and he means it. You know why? That's the first home run of his big league career. Congratulations. Randy tied at 2. Bottom 6, runners in the corners. Jose Lopez, the single. That's going to score Adrian Beltre. Mariners up 3-2. Top of the 9th, tying run on. Roy Corcoran looking for the save, and Nick Punto. Fly ball. Not deep enough. I mean, hey, the Twins, they need to stop losing to the Mariners. Seattle the winner.
Well, I don't care how good you are, you got to hit your spots or you're not going to be great. Chris Snyder sets a blow and outside. Webb up and in. Nick Hundley hits the blue single to left field. Snyder again sets up low. Now, don't be confused. This is not the Bud Light freeze frame.
No.
Teddy Iguchi singles up the middle. Webb missing the spots. Not throwing with the best velocity. There we go. It's all about velocity, not philosophy. Webb misses his spot again. Giles makes him pay. Ryan Giles, 10th of the season. Padres up 3-zip. Later in the frame, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Webb. Well, now, if you're ever going to miss, don't miss over the middle. Kevin Kuzminoff ropes a line drive to the right center gap. 2 runs will score. Padres lead 5-0 in Cy Young candidates. Again, throw the ball over the middle of the plate, you're not going to win Cy Young. Bottom 5, Padres up 5-2, 2 outs, a runner on. Webb, one more time. That looked like a good spot, right? No, it's just you get up, get up in the zone, and Chase Headley will rip you. Adrian Gonzalez will score. Pods up 6-2, win at 9-2. Webb 4 2/3, gives up 9 hits, 6 earned, first loss in 2 months.
Tuesday he was taking on the Tigers, 7-0. ERA of less than 2.5 since his last loss. Lee setting the tone early, gets Placido Polanco. Marcus Timms facing Lee, and Lee gets him to chase a nasty curveball for strike 3. Top of the 3rd, Franklin Gutierrez ropes one down the 3rd baseline as Drupal Cabrera scores. The Indians will score 6 runs in the inning, 4 of them unearned. Ben Francisco with a runner on. He would have 2 home runs in this game. 2nd multi-home run game of the season for him and career, by the way. And the Cliff Lee commanding 10-2 lead in the bottom of the 7th gets Ryan Rayburn. Lee gets his 19th win.
BJ Upton, cool. He's not hitting .455 against me. He's done. Bottom 2, same numbers, 2 on, 2 out. Halliday gets Dave Gross swinging. In the 3rd, another 2 out, 2 on situation, but Lyle Overbeck comes through here. 2-run base knock. 3-0 Jays. In the 6th, the bases are loaded. Rays down 3. Eric Hinsky coming up clutch against Doc Halliday. That'll score a pair. Rays 3-2. They're behind just 1. So Cheese gets a little more binding, but Sean Riggins goes down. Halliday 6 innings pitched, 2 earned. In walk Kennedy struck out 7.
Especially if they get to keep playing the Pirates. Spawn and Sane and pray for Zambrano. What? Carlos Zambrano, the RBI single, sets a Major League Baseball record for a pitcher with a hit in 13 straight starts. Johnny Sane at 12 straight back in 1947. I think you were at that game, Anderson.
Yep.
Top of the 8th, Pirates up 8-7, base loaded. Craig Hansen with a full count walks Derek Lee, tied at 8, walks Aramis Ramirez, and then Hansen walks over and hits the water cooler. Later, bases loaded, Giovanni Soto. What a game he had. 3 for 5, a home run, 2 doubles, 7 RBIs for Soto. The Cubs score 7 in the 8th. And again, I'm serious, they might never lose again.
Dodgers Nationals, LA chance to gain ground. Arizona a loser. Derek Lowe 5-0 in his career against the Nationals, so he's excellent success against DC. But right here, the highs and the lows all in one pitch. Last Millage puts him in the seats. 13th of the year. Nats up 1-0. Top 5 bases loaded. Matt Kemp, hard shot to 3rd. Ryan Zimmerman steps on the bag, throws home. The ball's bobbled by Jesus Flores, and Mark Wagner calls Nomar Garcia out at home. Garcia's not happy. He knows the rules. So does Joe Torre. They're going to come out and talk this over with Wagner, make him reverse the call. I mean, this is easy as pie. The guy stepped on 3rd. Suddenly, there you go. We don't have a force play anymore. You're going to have to put a tag on the runner, not just put your foot on the dish. There you go. Nomar, after the bobble, keeps coming, but there you go. Flores upset with himself. Should have had that. Dodgers cut the lead to 2-1. No damage, though. Garcia Parra lines out the 3rd there. Zimmerman doubles off Manny. Nats win it 2-1. 30 rows.
You usually get the tennis, don't you?
Yep.
U.S. Open, Vincent Spadea and Marat Safin. Spadea, the diving save, but Safin's shot is too much for Spadea. He knows it, a little racket toss. Safin wins 3-6, 6-2, 6-3.
Like you guys riding elephants, kicking fiery balls. Number 8, Reds Astros. Jeff Keminger is at foul. Look at Lance Berkman. Wow, running away from the play, over the shoulder, the basket catch. Excellent. Let's go to number 6. This involves Indians and Tigers.
There's a high drive, right field. DeLucci, oh, what a play by Choice, who overran the ball and then reached back and caught it.
At number 5. The Mets and Phillies.
One toward the middle, easily to his right on the backhand, the running throw, stretch, scoop, got him. Beautifully done by Easley and Delgado to end the inning.
Easily the tough throw. Carlos Delgado scoop it first.
Easily tough. Nice work there. Professional broadcasting. Number 4, Reds Astros. Joey Votto to center. Michael Bourne. Hey, where's this hill go? It goes up. I got it. Bourne on the run. Nicely done. Reds won them.
How did I get the women's soccer? No, this is really cool. Watch this. LSU against BYU. The freshman goalkeeper, Mo Isom. The free kick from 90 yards, and it bounces over the other goalkeeper's head. I mean, that's amazing. LSU wins 4-1.
That one counted for 3. Number 2, Dodgers Nationals. Jeff Kent hits one to center. Lasting's Millich coming on. Excellent where he also homered in this game. Let's see him one more time. Whee! That's 1-2-1.
Mo Isom. At number 1, the Rangers and Royals, Hank Blaylock hits the right center. Joey Gathright able to make the leaping catch at the wall. Rangers winner 2-1.